You know,
Yeah.
here on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez. And guys, today this COVID is just really kicking everything in the butt. And the shit's out there. So we're going to be probably 35-minute show today. We got to be done because Justin, he's our producer, is heading out of town early in the morning. So I mean, we just really want to come and touch base and let you guys get some questions and have your opinions thrown in on the fights this past weekend. And I'm sure we'll tap on maybe some of the Tyson.
Caitlin says, "Hello, what's up, Caitlin? How are you? You got anything, Kelly?" Caitlin says,
Yeah, so we can get up in there and start talking.
"All right, hey, Kelly, Luis Cortez, who voted you into the Hall of Fame, just commented. He said, and I'm going to celebrate your Hall of Fame, so make it quick."
Hell yeah. Tell him, hey, Luis, thank you so much for that and help with all that, man. I was actually going to send you a message last night, but as you know, my whole thing was bombarded trying to respond to as many as the congratulations. But dude, Luis, I really want to thank you big time for that, more so than anybody, man.
Crystal says hello, and Josh Turner says, "What's up? What's up, Josh?" Scott says, "Congrats on your Hall of Fame." Luis Cortez says, "Love you, brother."
Oh, definitely, thank you, man. Much love here. Thank everybody for. I just want to thank everyone for all the wishes and congratulations that I got.
Well, we have some good stuff going on. We had I know we didn't get into the Mike Tyson fight because last week because of the whole COVID thing. We don't get, it's hard to get some shows going.
Yeah.
But let's touch on the Mike Tyson Roy Jones thing. I know people are tired of hearing it, but we can spend a minute on it.
Yeah, I thought the whole thing with that fight was uh, they were 54 and 51 years old. You got 20 some year old guys and 30-year-old guys. I see some talking shit. Listen, them guys did more than expected. They surprised me. Uh, they came out for 54 and 51. I can't do it. A lot of people can't do it right now. They couldn't do what they did, and they went and they fought. I mean, they went head to head. They threw punches to knock each other out. Believe me, if one of them punches would have landed, it would have been Coyton's for one of them, especially for Tyson. Now on the flip side, Tyson was a little tired too, and people were saying, "I can't believe how good a shape Tyson was in." Listen, he just had a better poker face. So but I thought for that. Now, does that mean that I want to see more of the Legends League and more of these guys, these type fights? No, I don't. I think it was cool the way it was. I think it was the one fight that was like that, and leave it at that. So
You know, a lot of people are coming down right now on Floyd Mayweather Jr. fighting Logan Paul um, in February. I don't see an issue with it. I'm like this, Kelly. That man fought everybody in the business, and he beat everybody in the business. He's 44 years old. What does he have to prove to anybody now? If he wants
mm,
to make exhibition fights for 10, $20 million, so be it.
I agree. I want him. I'm not against what Logan Paul or Jake Paul is doing. I'm not against it. I think again it helps. Um, but I do want to see that they want to keep coming to boxing and are going to call these people out. I think Mayweather is a little old and been out of the ring a little long, but he'll still win. And
He's
don't get me wrong,
Logan Paul.
but I hope Mayweather puts them in their place. Though when if you want to hurry up and climb up the ranks like that and talk shit, then you're going to get fuck around, find out type thing. But and yeah, you're right. Mayweather, people come on saying stupid shit. What does Mayweather have to prove? He fought everybody. He was 50-0 or legitimately 49-0. Um, so what? Yeah, everybody's like, well, you should give these young guys the opportunity. Then no, he don't have to give these young guys the opportunity, and these young guys wouldn't get an opportunity because if they beat Floyd Mayweather, you're gonna get they beat an old man that's been retired. So people just need to quit bitching. I think everybody wants to find a reason to get on one of the social media platforms and pitch a bitch and seem relevant, and that's all it is. They don't know what they want to fucking cry about.
Hey, Kelly, you got some statements here. You got
Yeah,
Dana Jones says, congratulations, Kelly. Hey, James, what's up, Dana? Jude Guerrero says, congratulations, Kelly. Mike says, congratulations, champ. Paul says, congratulations, Ghost. Um, Luis Cortez says, Boots versus Virgil is the future pay-per-view fight, Taylor and Chavez style. I disagree with Luis. Virgil Ortiz does not fight anything like either Chavez.
no,
Here's what I think, Kelly. I think Virgil Ortiz fights like Felix Trinidad. If I was gonna say Boots with anybody, I would say it'll be more like Felix Trinidad and Oscar. You know,
I know. I
Boots.
know people will think I'm crazy, and I agree. I think he fights technical like Trinidad, but I think he has more weapons. I really do, a
I,
lot more.
but he fights nothing like Calusi or Chavez.
Hmm. Oh, he don't fight anything like Chavez.
No.
I already got a couple on YouTube. There ain't going to be many either. Trent Non Perel says, sucks that Miranda fight isn't available on HD on YouTube, but Taylor one fight isn't. Oh, I don't know. You might be able to find it, bro. James Burrell says, congrats. Proud of Youngstown. The Quag said, what did you guys score to Danny Spence fight? I had an 8-4 Spence. Pretty good fight.
I
And
had it
Spence said, congrats.
Kelly for Spence.
Who'd you have?
I had 117, 111 for Spence.
I had the same exact way. And that 3 rounds that I gave Danny Garcia, I mean, it really could have been 2 rounds, guys. I'm not being mean when I say that. I was being nice because I kind of like Danny. Um, I thought Spence did a phenomenal job, and he hushed the critics. Yeah, I had it 117, 111. But me and you had the same score, but I thought Danny won I thought maybe if there was any convincing round that Danny won, I thought it was the fifth.
Well, I think I gave him the seventh. I thought the reason I thought that is because at the end, I think Danny landed like 4 or 5 big shots. So
Hmm.
I will take the 4 big shots or 5 over the jabs. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's funny. People think that we copy scores, that we
No.
copy other scores. We don't at all. We don't even talk during the fights. I make my score and Kelly makes a score, then we compare them after the fight. We never go off each other's scores and make our own score.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I mean that fight could have easily have been pretty.
118, 110,
What's that?
118, 110.
Yeah, easily.
I could have had it 116, 112, Kelly.
Yeah, see, I didn't have it nowhere near that close. Um,
I mean, Danny Garcia impressed me in the fight. I mean, he's still a live dog. He is good.
oh, absolutely. I think that Spence is
The better.
Spence is legit though. It's he came out and he's one of the few players that I've seen that could actually he dominated that fight. He controlled that fight. A little towards the end he didn't look that sharp, but listen, the guy was off. I mean, and it had nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah,
I think it was just being out of the ring. To Quaggs, he goes, "You guys think Danny needs a new trainer?" Um, at this point, I don't know if that's going to help it. I don't think that fight. I don't think that fight with Spence was anything to do with who was training him.
yeah.
That was a matter of his dad was saying and come on and kept interrupting Danny and was going. He just didn't counter the right way. It's a little easier said than done when you got a guy like Spence firing shots, and in the back of fucking Danny's head, he wasn't as excited to counter as quick.
Well, it's a lot easier for Angel to say because he never put a pair of gloves on in his life.
Hmm.
You know, Angel's excuse was, "I have asthma. I can't box. I never can box. I have asthma." Okay, that's fine, but don't make it don't make it sound so easy. Danny should have done that. It's funny,
Hmm.
and I'm not coming down on people that don't box. But the problem is, people that's never boxed, they think it's fucking easy to do this or do that. Oh, I would
Yeah,
have to his body. Well, when you go to the body, you got to take what's coming in. You got to take that. You got to take what's coming at you. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
easier said than done. It's not Rocky. It's not Creed 1 and 2. It's real fucking boxing.
Yep, that's 100%. Uh, Burrell goes. Spence did a phenomenal job of pretending he didn't know why Crawford was at his fight. Bummer. And Trent said should be first ballot Hall of Fame. Oh, great record, tons of KOs all over HBO.
Yeah.
Miranda fights. Well, thank you, Trent. I appreciate it, man. Former Carrasco says I say Danny Garcia takes a visit to California and talks to Robert Garcia.
Uh, I don't think it'll work.
Yeah, I just have a hard time. You know, nobody was saying anything before this fight, so again, it goes to show that. To me, that looks like it's taking the victory away from Errol Spence.
You know, the thing is this: Danny's got to where Danny's got because of his athleticism and him learning on his own. That's a guy that's learned by the trade himself, and he's
Yeah.
got better. Um, but Robert Garcia teaches a whole different style of fighting than Danny Garcia has, and I think right now, I think Danny might be too late in the career to change
He
anything.
is. He is. It is too late. And again, what I'm saying, why all of a sudden because this loss to Spence, he has to train.
They shit when he lost to Porter or lost to Thurman.
Yeah, I mean, Spence is a good fighter, man. I mean, like he was on point Saturday night. I don't know if that fight, as far as trainer now, Garcia. If that's with the style that Danny Garcia got, if he was to go with Robert Garcia, I'm sure even Robert would want a fight or two before he jumped back in with one of the top dogs to work with him because it's going to take time. You're right. I mean, he's been programmed and trained one way. He's a boxer, flashy boxer. I'm not saying that Robert couldn't work with that, but Robert's style is a little different. Robert's definitely an offense and defense at the same time type of trainer.
And the business aspect of it, he has three welterweights there that are all in line to fight Daddy. Why would he take one of those fights away from him? You have
Hmm.
Mikey Ramirez moving up, and you have Virgil Ortiz, who are all potential fights for Danny Garcia.
Exactly. The Quag says, "Do you guys think Danny is top five welterweight?" Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
I think so.
Yes, absolutely. Kelly, you got more stuff for you here. Roscoe says facts. Um, Esteban said, "Hey guys, Luis Cortin." Mike Elliott says Tyson looked good, and Carry Out Swisher says, Kelly, yes, I love your real talk. And
Thank you.
Chuck said, can we make Chuck Salt Charlie Z happen? 10K and I'll win in the first round. And then Luis said he was just saying in the terms of war between Chavez and Taylor, not their styles. Um,
Oh yeah,
I don't see it being much of a war. And I'm going to tell you why.
I see what he's saying.
I,
Fireworks for the time, forever long it lasts.
but, and I'm going to say this about Luis. He loves his Philly fighters because he's from Philly, right? And
Mhm.
I can say the same thing about Oxnard. I know that. But who has Boots fought? He hasn't fought out of the top 25 yet or top 30 yet for me to say, oh yeah, he's going to give Virgil Ortiz problems. You got Virgil fight guys in the top 10 for the past two or three fights now, and
Yeah.
you have Boots at 25 or 26-0, and he hasn't even broke the top 30 yet.
Well, but I agree with that. But my whole thing is what I'm saying. What's Boots' style? I mean, he's a hard puncher. Comes out winging. That's why I said I think it would be interesting. For as long as it lasted, and of course that's what Ortiz being on the Victoria side.
Yeah.
Um, you
I'm
know,
I'm not selling the house. I'm not putting the house on one fighter when I haven't seen him in the top 10 yet on how he overcomes adversity or how he
no,
comes.
he's definitely got to step up. But you know how that goes. You know how that goes. It's okay for him to go up that quick, and he's that's the way it goes. Say Danny takes who soapbox and says Spence blew me away. Looked like the wreck never happened.
Well,
Um,
we thought that I thought the record wasn't going to make a difference.
yeah,
I compared it to having the arrogance of youth where they forget about shit like that. You remember when you were a kid, you fell down, scratched your face, you're out there jumping your bike the next fucking day.
yeah. You know where I didn't know, and we already seen some of it on the comment sections. Here's where I said why I was going with Spence
Yeah,
because I really didn't feel that had anything to do with it.
no,
Because usually that's what everybody on the outside I guess it hits a little more personal to me. That's the first thing everybody goes to with a lot of cases with these athletes. And these athletes, and even the ones that are under the radar that people don't know about, that do what they do, they're human beings. They have a life. They live. I'm not saying they go and flip $400,000 cars. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is they have fuck ups, and they live, they have their own personal life out of training. And everybody's first accusation towards all that is, oh, they don't take it serious. Like I told the one guy, he goes, I didn't think he didn't take most of his half his career serious. I said, oh, that's a surprise because he's beating everybody easily. He's going 12 hard rounds. You got to be taking something serious to go 12 hard rounds like that and outbox and outwork your other guys. So I did, and that was kind of, he's young. That situation happens to him at 30, 32, 33 years old, 35.
Now,
Now I'm saying, you know what? Yeah, that's probably not good at that stage.
yeah, but
But I didn't think it was.
the thing is this: I see fans and media alike. Fans and media, they always got their hands in a fighter's pocket or their personal life or their dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard this fighter's gay. I heard this fighter's gay. Or I heard he made 300K only for that fight. I'm like, what do you care? You don't you're going to see 300K.
Yeah, right. I know. I mean, some of the shit that I don't know, man. It's I guess I gotta quit reading some of the shit.
Like you ever like for instance, if you make a post about Oscar, what's the first thing somebody's gonna say? Fishnets, right? Or
Yeah, Fisher. That's
gay. And I'm thinking like this. Let me tell you what. You give me, it's on point. You give me $400 million in my bank account, and you give me a mound of cocaine like Scarface, right? You give me 10 Russian hookers, I'd wear them damn spandex too.
yep. Jesus. Let me get so Iso Akuna says, "What do you think about Spence's defense? He shut down two good counterpunchers. He did.
You did.
I can't argue that." Furman says thoughts on Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Callum Smith fight. I say Saul is in a real fight and can very well lose this fight. I think Canelo will win that. I think the beginning of the fight will be a little slower for Canelo. Callum's a big guy, and Callum could fight. Obviously, he's just a big boy. But I think Canelo finds a way to figure him out by 3 or 4 rounds and kind of puts a little boxing lesson on him.
We have more questions here and stuff, Kelly. Darren Shabbat, our good buddy from New York, said, "What's up, guys? Flew out to Texas and went to the fight Saturday. First time going to Cowboy Stadium. Pretty amazing experience. Fight pretty much went as expected, but still entertaining. Spence clearly is the same fighter after the accident. I agree."
Yeah.
Robert Gamache says, "Congrats, Kelly. Carrie Ann Swift." If I Carrie Ann, her comment just zoomed away. Oh, Carrie Ann said, "Met you at the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame in 2019. Hopefully, we'll see you at your induction in 2021.
That'd be cool.
And Luis Cortez said, "Yes, y'all did." And he laughed. And then he said, Esteban says this: "Need professional opinion. Did Spence's angle of his straight left cause Danny to go straight back?" I thought so. And after the fourth round, Angel was telling Danny to stop going straight back. Great fighter.
Spence ain't been knocking a lot of people out, but Spence still hits hard. And I think that's what with that quick left hand that he landed. And actually, I seen in the first round, he threw that, or at the end of the first round, he threw that straight left, and it was quick, and it caught Danny. And I think that was a game changer. Not saying it hurt Danny, but I think it sent that vibration through the entire body, and Danny was on the lookout for that.
Well, do you remember when Mikey fought Spence? Remember when we talked to Mikey after? Remember that?
Yeah.
Or did you talk to him after? Was it me or did you go with me to talk to him?
Yeah, I think we both did.
Mikey said, and I remember asking Mikey, I said, "What was that? What was it like fighting him?" And I remember he said, when Spence hit him with that straight left, he said his spine locked up in the first round. He said he felt his spine just lock up, like, you know what I mean? Like seize up. So, and then he caused a guy like Mikey to go straight back. He never goes straight back. His footwork's perfect. And then because he did Danny Garcia, I can understand why now. Because he did the same to Danny Garcia, probably locked his spine up too.
Yeah.
Miranda's hit you that hard where you felt your spine kind of just lock a little bit, didn't he?
Everything locked, buckle locked.
Your brain, your ball sack.
Hey, Gerardo the Gallant goes, awesome, more punchline. Thank you, bro. DeQuag said, what did you guys think of the BJS Martin Murray fight? I fell asleep, woke up, and the damn thing was still on. Who should BJS fight next, in your opinions?
Canelo.
I be honest with you, I don't think I've seen that fight.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I love Mark Murray though. Every time we see him, he's a great guy. Kelly.
Who, Martin Murray?
Yeah, every time we see him, he's wearing the trench coat. He's probably the most well-dressed guy in the world, man. Him and Chris Algieri.
Yeah, right. You wouldn't think they're boxers. Soap Boxing Podcast said, I just worried about injuries, especially his hips, per reports. And I get that. People had questions, but I think everybody was as curious to what his real condition was. I mean, everybody wants to know. And from a fan standpoint, when you're a fan, I understand that. And fans are allowed to wonder how his health is and how he's feeling. But when you start making your own accusations
I know.
and diagnosis and everything else about it, that's when it gets irritating. But
Problem is, Kelly, the problem is this. There's media people that do not tell the truth out there. There's guys like fucking Skip, Baldowski, and you'll have the other one, the other racist guy. He said a lot of things about Porter that his sources said Porter will never, or not Porter, Spence will never walk again. His neck's broken. He said all those things.
yeah. Oh, you're thinking of Gazier or Glacier, whatever his name is.
Gazer. Yeah, that Glacier. Yeah. Meet Gazer. No.
Meet Gazier.
Meet Gazer. No, Glazer saying his sources, and he don't have sources. And then, like, I remember he was saying that he'll never walk again. He's going to be in a wheelchair. He's paralyzed. And I said, and I remember talking to him and saying, hey, bro, I said, that's funny because I saw his Instagram and he's at Disney World riding the rides with his kids. I said, he has a pair of fucking Mickey Mouse ears on Space Mountain. That's not the kind of thing that a guy with a bad neck does, is it?
Yeah.
But I think some of these media guys, they have their own agenda. And they
listen,
be relevant. So they put a story together.
I said this about media people, and this is true. That some of your worst people are media.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you got is a bunch of out of shape people who have no chance of making or accomplishing or doing anything on their own behalf. So they live off the failure or success of other people or athletes. That is what a reporter does. They follow around other people's and comment on their performance and whatever else dirt they could grab up on them. Those are most of your reporters, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. Reporters are unable and incapable of doing that on their own, or going out in life and becoming contributing to society through themselves. So they got to do it at the expense of another person or an athlete, and that's guys like Rick. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So James Burrell says goat yoga is good for the spine. I've never heard of goat yoga.
Yeah,
I know yoga is.
Oh, good. These goats get on their backs.
Yeah, I mean, I may have heard of it, but Furman Carrasco says, do you guys know anything about Triple G's next opponent?
I don't know anything about him.
Me either. I don't.
Chuck Saul says, should Daddy get a different guy to corner? No. We already have that, Chuck.
I got to clear up. And when I say that about reporters, now, we have a lot of friends that are reporters, and obviously I'm not talking about every reporter.
No, there's some reporters that work hard.
There is, we know a handful of them, and they're different too. You can see their stories, though. Their stories are different, and they respect the athlete.
Yeah.
I'm going on some of the ones that you see where you see all these accusations and everything else flying around that comes from reporters.
So. We're media too, but we've said it before on the show. We've said it before. The punchline.
I'm media. You're damn right. I'm media, but I didn't. I'm not where I'm at today because of media.
Oh, but the thing I said was, we don't pass second or third hand information at all. We won't even take information from the camp. and pass it along. We pass it right from the fighter himself. If not, we won't post it.
Yeah.
And that's all we've always prided ourselves on doing that, is getting it directly from the source. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because if it's not from the source, it's not true. Because sometimes the fighter barely knows what's going on.
They don't. The fighter don't know the truth. I
Yeah,
mean, he may only have
you know.
25% of the truth. You know.
Yep, and then the trainer doesn't know, and his best friend don't know, and all these other things you don't know. But that's why we try our best to go to the fighter.
Yeah, and we got some good ones here. James Burrell says the Russian calls it propaganda. We call it news. Yep. Quag said, "Who would you guys take, Pacquiao or Porter?"
I,
At this point, I'm gonna have to go Porter. Styles make fights, and
I,
that's a tough fight for Pacquiao.
I would take Porter, just so big.
Yeah, I know. And Michael Donahue goes, "Where does Danny go from here?" Uh, I think there's some big fights out there still for Danny. I think there's enough fights out there, and Danny's got enough talent where he could recapture a belt.
Yep. Well, shit, you have Josecito Lopez now and Danny, right? He just won big. Josecito did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
Does older Pac have a shot at beating Spence?
No,
No.
not
Should,
at 147.
like Gonzalez says, should Canelo stay at 168 if he wins?
Manny at 135, 140, and lower. I mean, that was a phenomenal Manny.
Clarence McClain said, James and Kelly, what's up? What's up, homie? How you doing? Clarence said, Kelly and James need you guys on my podcast.
What?
Clarence McCain said, Kelly and James need you guys on my podcast. For sure. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime. They do good. Clarence does a good show. Him and Sakura, they do a good show together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We did that show not too long ago. That was about what, a month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months.
Triple G, that guy is a younger guy, but this is his first step up in competition. Triple G isn't aging well, so it could be. It could be a good fight. Yeah, it could be. But the last thing to go on any fighter is power.
Yeah.
Hey, do you believe this, Kelly? I want to ask you this. Do you think the chin starts breaking down when fighters get older too?
Does what start breaking down?
Chin starts breaking down when fighters get older. Their chin.
No, it all depends on what type of career they had. If they've been dropped and hurt and knocked out, I think so. I think it definitely takes a toll. But somebody like Triple G, I think he still has a couple more years. I mean, if anything, it's not the chin. I just think it's the fact of the reaction time and not being able to brace or be able to absorb the impact because they're not seeing it as clear. So, if anything, that would be. I wouldn't say it's because of chin. I would say it's because of not being properly ready for the punch, which it makes a big difference. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't right now that's not a factor for Triple G. I don't think that's going to become a factor at all. Is his chin?
Kelly, Tommy, also, did you all see the Hector Camacho documentary?
No, I got it. It's on Showtime, ain't it?
I did watch it. It was fantastic.
I know. I was trying to watch it. I was actually about 45 minutes before the show. I was on demand trying to find it, and I can't find it.
It's on there. It's on. You got Prime?
Yeah, I do.
Go to the Showtime there, and it'll be on. Go to Showtime. Okay. It's a fantastic documentary. I recommend the Hector Camacho documentary so much. Even had your homie on there, Boom Boom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we do got 4 minutes, guys. Yeah, I will check that out.
Ray says crazy mad love. What's up, Ray? How you doing, buddy? But yeah, because I was wondering that, like, later in your career, does your chin start? Does it become a little less stable?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the chin. I mean, I think you're more susceptible to get knocked out, but I think that comes with not seeing the punches, not keeping the chin tucked, or not blocking it. I don't think it's the chin. And with somebody like Triple G, I don't think it's a factor.
Yeah.
But now I think when somebody's been knocked out, dropped a lot, dropped a lot in their career, yeah, I think the chin comes in a factor. I think the brain just ain't. It's not able to sustain that type of punishment anymore. It's a
Yeah.
good question. I don't know though. I mean, I hate talking like that. And with our luck, some neurologist will be on there and telling me to shut the hell up. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about,
Did,
and I'll
did,
have to listen to them.
did you like? Did you feel like some of the punches you took when you were younger were easier than when you took them when you got older?
No, I felt like I took them better as I got older.
You put
To be
on weight.
honest.
You put on grown person weight.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's all I have, guys. And any other questions?
I was. This is slow today, the YouTube, but yeah. We're getting ready to get off, guys.
Yep.
We'll be back on next week, and hopefully, as
For the
soon as
whole
the shit
hour.
slows down, we'll be back in studio. I know everybody likes it better when we're in studio. Um,
And
we will get that going.
next week we'll be here for the whole hour too.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, go subscribe, share,
Like,
and thanks for tuning in. Hey, I want to thank everybody for all the congratulations that you gave me, and I appreciate that very much.
thank you for the questions, guys. If it wasn't for you, there would be no show. I appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Thank you, and we'll see you guys.
We're good.